Okay, so why you should not be worrying about anyone else's opinion, thought, why you should not be seeking validation from literally anybody but yourself. Because if you're seeking validation from someone else, that means there is an insecurity somewhere, and we cannot have insecurities. Okay, insecurities are for the weak, and I don't think that you're weak. Like, how do you want, like, for you to say that you hate yourself, that's a really big statement. Coming from someone who used to hate themselves, it's like, whoa, you hate yourself? Like, why do you hate yourself? Like, what? Like, change it. Like, you are, if you really think about it, if you hate someone, you hate something. I hate mayo. I'm not gonna keep putting mayo on my sandwiches. Okay? If you seriously hate yourself and you are the one living in your body, what's going on? What's going on? If you are like seeking validation from a male, from a female, from any kind of individual, from any kind of like outer source other than yourself, because the second that we start looking for happiness elsewhere and like an opinion or validation or something elsewhere, we're going to get attached with that feeling, attached with that emotion that's attached to that person. Okay, we can't have that happening, because that's when we lose train of thought. That's where we lose focus on the real prize, which is ourselves. Okay, so this is where we go back and we just think and we sit and we're like, well, why? First of all, ask yourself this question: why do you want validation from someone else? Why do you need validation from an outer source? Are you not giving it enough to yourself? What is it, first of all, what is it that you need to be validated on? Is it the fact that you're so caring? Is it your looks? Is it how you perform at work? Is it like, I don't know, anything from being a mom, from being well, I guess it is nice to have validation as a mom and a dad, but still. Just in general, like, why, like, what is it that you want validation for? And why is it that, like, you crave it so bad? Like, what is it that you can't give yourself? Obviously, I totally understand validation if you, like, lacked a parental figure. Honestly, I've had it all, okay? So, I've had it all. And I'm telling you, self-love is it's the root to all of your evil, okay? Is self-love and knowing who you are as a person. Because when I didn't know myself, oh my god, I wanted to hear it from everyone else. I had no idea who I was, so when I tell you I needed to hear it from other people, like, I would ask people, like, oh, how do you think I did? How did I, like, and I made it, like, about me, and then that wasn't very good. Or, like, I just waited and waited for someone to, like, say something or, like, compliment me, so I would always try so hard. So hard. Don't say I don't understand it, because I do understand it. Yeah, and it's just, like, I would just try, like, so hard to just be noticed or be seen or to be, like, blah, 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 whatever. Now I literally don't give two shits. Obviously, I'm still like, look at me. But, frig, I go, honestly, sometimes, like, days without going on Snapchat, answering people, like, talking to people. Well, I do Instagram for work and stuff like that. But even, like, outer validation and everything like that, it's just, like, you just need to be so secure with yourself. And honestly, everything that I'm going to say and everything I'm honestly going to talk about comes back to just figuring out who you are. I don't know what's behind me on my bed here. Oh, these are like these Nutella things that I ate, and also an Uncrustable. But anyways, you need to be so sure with yourself. Not a fucking hair can touch you or bother you. Okay? Nothing can bother you. And if you're scared or like nervous or you're like, oh my god, like, okay, once again, there's like anxiety and stuff like that, and like whatever. Also, I don't really think this is working out for me today. I really don't think this is working. I don't know if it's just the lighting or if it's actually like my face. That's the laundry. But But, Ferg, what was I just saying? Yeah, no, who gives a shit what anyone else is thinking of you? You're so busy, okay? You validate yourself enough. Even though, like, once again, like, what do they have that you can't already provide yourself for? Even if you're not providing it for yourself right now, you will, in due time, provide it for yourself. And if you cannot see them being a part of who you are going to be in the next 3 to 5 years, cut it off. Ooh, I have a fat pimple coming in. That one. Eek. Anyways, but self-love is always going to be the answer. Finding more hobbies is always going to be the answer. Taking more interest in yourself than others is always going to be the answer. Taking interest in things that are actually going to benefit you is going to be the answer. What's a compliment? What do you want? But yeah, you should just be so full of your own abundance that you don't need anything from anybody else. The way that we keep building our abundance and the way that we keep it is we write it down. We talk about it all the time. You are so pretty, you are so loving, you are so kind, Me personally, I'm like driving around now, I'm like, I'm fucking rich, I'm loaded, I'm not driving in this city anymore, I'm in freaking Florida, I'm in Miami, I'm in wherever, okay? You're too busy to give a shit what other people think about you. I also got a spray tan and now everything is just a different color than what it's supposed to be. But you are too busy, okay? You're too busy. You don't even have time to worry about it. You don't even have time to be stressed about your own stress, okay? That should always just be the answer. See, I got a call. Okay. Once again, I was interrupted, but yeah, honestly, all of our topics and all of our conversations are going to go right back to the same thing, which is the fact that you need to be so okay in your own skin and you need to love yourself so unconditionally and so much that not even a flick, nothing can affect you, like I'm telling you. And even if that takes going through the ringer a few times, figuring life out, like getting your shit together, do it. Okay? And don't depict your emotions on someone else's. Don't depict anything that you do in life on someone else's decisions or the way someone else is feeling. Because the way people feel feelings is they feel them when they're in a certain mood or when they're around certain people or doing certain things, okay? When people aren't always feeling those feelings and doing those things, they're going to leave and they're going to go away. So if you're relying on someone else's feelings about how they were feeling during a different feeling in a different moment, there's so many factors that are uncontrolled that you cannot control that will fuck you up. Short term, long term, it's inevitable. It's going to fuck you up, okay? So just float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's the best way I could say it. Not really, but I don't know. It's the first thing that came to my head. But you okay. Okay, I'm just gonna end it there, honestly, okay? The one thing you just need to continuously keep learning from watching all these videos is to love yourself. You'll love yourself one day or another, okay? And you cannot hate yourself because you are living in yourself. There's you, and then there's you, okay? There's one internally and there's one externally. So you need to love both unconditionally, especially this one, because this one does also control this one, how this one looks, smells, breathes, talks, all of it. They're both a representation of each other. And stop relying on other people for everything. I'm going to keep saying that always. Be so secure with yourself. Also, the fact that you don't look in the mirror and you're like, damn, she's hot. Like, damn, she's hot. Like, the fact, like, I'm a little Like, I have a really bad nail biting problem, but that's besides the point. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. You're not going to be perfect all the time. Not everything is going to be seamless. Not everything is going to be a-okay, okie dokie all the time. And for a split second, if you think everyone else around you has their shit together, you are so far. You're silly. You're freaking silly, because I'm telling you, maybe 1 out of every 10th person that you see maybe has their shit together, okay? They maybe have their shit together. Whatever you're experiencing, the person in front of you, behind you, beside you, in the next neighborhood over is probably experiencing something similar. Also, if you're in a public situation, if you're in a public area and you're thinking, oh my god, all these people are probably staring at me, blah, do you know what everyone else is probably thinking? The same thing. You know what? I've come a long way, because in 6th grade, we were supposed to do speeches, right? I did mine on the history of chocolate. I bawled my eyes out. I was bawling hysterically because I got such bad. I was the only kid who cried. The only one who cried. I remember it so vividly. No, actually, that one was on, I think that one, no. So the one I did, the history of chocolate, I was in a sling because I broke like my shoulder. My dad fell on it when we were tobogganing. Yeah, and I was in a sling and I had my cue cards like this. And we did it that way. That was the history of chocolate. The one in 7th grade, oh my god, I think it was Miss, I'm not going to say her name, but yeah, I was up there crying, like quivering, trying to say my speech. And I'm like, do I still have to go? Like, you're going to make me go while I'm crying. Mind you, I was that, like, obviously, now if there was a kid crying in class, I'd be like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Are you good? But, like, I was the only kid who cried. It was terrible. It was the worst thing ever. Like, a shaking, trembling. You think I got that issue now? No. Because who gives a fuck what other people think? Genuinely. Who cares? Like, even if, like, honestly, you kind of gotta be like that, like, annoying little kid sometimes who just, like, always has a comeback. He's always, like, witty and smart and, like, doesn't give a fuck. Like, you gotta be that kid that's like, I know you are, but what am I? I told you so. Like, you have to be like that, but on a much more, like, chill, I don't give a fuck level. Like, if someone says anything to you, it's just like, okay. Or one that actually used to really bother me is killing them with kindness. Killing them with, like, when someone used to say kill them with kindness, I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean kill them with kindness? I was always out for, like, revenge. Love revenge. Loved it. No, but karma. Karma's a real thing. Karma comes in due time. Okay? Everyone's gonna serve some karma. I've definitely served karma. I think I'm serving some right now. Not even gonna lie. But, yeah. Okay. That's fine, because I don't think that about myself. I don't think that about myself. So therefore, it doesn't really matter. You're the one that matters. Never forget it.